בנות, לשבת פה. תודה. We're losing time. After you hear Rabbi Mizrachi, we're losing time. בנות, לשבת יותר מהר, בנות. Let's use the last one, the sitting down. We're still waiting for some more girls, some more bנות to sit. שי, אכפת לכם לעבור לפה? תודה. לעבור לפה. ויקטור לפה. פה. Believe me. Come on. תודה. בנות, בנים. I personally very excited to have a very, very important guest speaker this morning. He's well known in the world. Millions of people on a weekly basis observing and listening to him. You can listen, I know some of you also know him from the YouTube, from the internet. He was born in Israel. He was in the IDF, in the Army, in Air Force. He was a businessman, very successful businessman, a banker. He was not religious at all. When he started to evaluate his life, he changed completely and he devoted his life to make Keruv and explain the people clearly what is Torah, what is Olam Hazeh, what is Olam Haba. After you listen to Rabbi Mizrachi, I have discs talking about the purpose of life and life after life. What happened after we die? The disc is clearly in Hebrew and in English, and I don't want to take more time because every minute is really important. I want you to listen to Rabbi Mizrachi Shlita.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Rabbi. Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you here in Panama. For the first time I'm here in this country. In the next half an hour, I'm going to give you some things to think about. As the rabbi say, you can see the suitcase over here. Feel free after my speech to take as many CDs as you want. For you, for your friends, in English, in Hebrew. We brought you some good DVDs here, Torah and Science, Life After Life, The Purpose of Life. These CDs are making a revolution all over the world. They've been translated to 8 or 9 languages already. And even non-Jews are standing on lines in the Batei Din in the world to convert as results of watching those CDs. For those of you who knows me, so you know I had a very famous debate with a Christian priest, Christian professor, 3 hours debate about Christianity versus Judaism. At the end of the debate he said, you put me in a hole, I don't know how I'm going to get out of there. I say to him, I just proved to you that your entire religion is not real, it's not from God. So he answered, he didn't say no, he said, but my heart will not let me live it. I got used to it. It was good to me over the years. I told him, the heart, it's nothing, it's feelings. We are talking about facts, the truth, not feelings, illusions. We're talking if this is a book of God or if this is a book that people made it up. If it's a religion that people made up, you can do whatever you want with that. It's your choice. You want to believe it, fine. You want to ignore it, perfectly fine. No violations. What human being can control other human being? But if the Torah that we, the Jewish nation, has, if it's really the book of God, it changed everything in our life. Now I want to tell you something. Do you know how many religions and cults we have today in the world? How many religions? What do you think? Well, you know about 5 or 6 probably. Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, Krishna, few religions. How many religions people know? Maximum 10. But there are more than 80,000 religions and cults. Almost all of them, as you can see, they all started after Judaism became public in the world. The Jews received the Torah over 3,300 years ago. What's the difference between Judaism to all the 80,000 religions and cults? All the other religions, if you check one by one, they all started with the story of one person. One day Muhammad came from the desert and he claimed that Angel Gabriel gave him the Quran. How many people witnessed that? No one. He himself claimed that I was alone. You have to believe me. And those who didn't want to believe him, he took a gang with swords and started to kill people. Everyone got scared. And they said, okay, we'll follow your book. And you will be the Prophet Muhammad. And today, 1400 years later, you see the results of it all over the world. Of the book, that it's full of human errors. It takes me 5 minutes to show you the Quran was never given by God. Never. It's full of human errors. As if you watch my film, Torah and Science, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I show the errors there, that you know right away God doesn't make such foolish mistakes. For instance, just to give you one example, according to the Quran, do you know who was the uncle of Jesus? According to the Quran, who was his uncle? Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe and Aaron and Miriam were the family of Jesus. Why? Because the writer of the Quran was so ignorant, he didn't know the fact, and he got confused between Miriam, the mother of Jesus, to Miriam, the sister of Moshe and Aaron, even though they lived 1300 years apart from each other. So he took the same Miriam, two different Miriams, and turned them into one. All of a sudden, Moshe Rabbeinu is the uncle of Jesus. Amazing. Mistakes like this God makes, you know right away it's not from God. When you check Christianity, the New Testament, you live here among them, there's churches everywhere, and they're so devoted for their religion. Almost in every page in the New Testament, there's human errors. According to their book, the cave of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, it's in the city of Shechem. When every fool knows it's in Hebron. But over there it's written that it's in Ba'ir Shechem. According to them, Jacob went to Egypt with 75 people, but the Torah says 70. Now why I'm starting my speech with that? The Muslims and the Christians, they didn't try to deny the fact that the Jews received the Torah in Mount Sinai in front of millions of witnesses. They just said, yes, you the Jews are the chosen people. God chose you and He gave you the Torah. We're not denying it. In our book, we speak about your Torah. Where the name Ibrahim, Yusuf, where they come from? They come from your Torah. Where is the story of all the things that we speak about? All comes from the Quran, from the Torah. Angel Gabriel that Muhammad claimed. How did he know about Angel Gabriel? From Judaism. We're not denying it. We just claim that you, the Jews, after you were not following the instructions of your God, He got tired of you. He gave you a first temple, destroyed it. He gave you the second temple, destroyed it. You messed up. You paid the price. Our job is to punish you. Where does it say it? In Amanat HaHamas. The Hamas that gives us so much problems, they wrote, Sheikh Yassin, when he opened the Hamas, he wrote, the Jews got all the opportunities from God and they messed up. They are an ungrateful nation. As results of that, we the Muslims have to do everything we can to punish them for going against God and His rules. That's how the Hamas started. Most Israelis don't know it. That means that he himself, when he opened the Hamas, he had one thing in mind. We have to punish the Jews for not being religious. Unbelievable. That's what's happening today in the world. When you open all the other religions and cults, it's always a story of one individual. But Judaism, it's not a religion. Judaism is a way of life. Torah in Hebrew means instructions how to live. From the moment you open your eyes, what you have to say, how do you tie your shoelaces, how do you wash your hands, how do you talk, how you conduct business, how you get married, how you get divorced if it's necessary, how you raise children, how do you live, how do you establish society. Many people do not understand what does it mean Judaism. Let me explain to you in few words what it means. One day, a person came to a group of people and he gave them the Torah. Who was this person? His name was Moshe ben Amram, Moshe. Some Jews, they say, you know why I'm not religious, Rabbi? I'll tell you why I'm not religious. I'm not convinced that this book was really given by God. If you prove to me that God gave it, what do you think, I'm going to go against God? Cannot be. I'm not going to go and fight against my Creator. The only reason I'm like that, I eat whatever I want, I don't keep the Sabbath, I do, all kinds of things that I'm not supposed to do. It's because I'm not convinced that the Torah is the book of God. Once I will be convinced, I'll begin to change. Fair or not fair? What do you think? Fair, but it's not realistic. I'll tell you why. Because I know people that admit 1,000,000% that they know the Torah is the book of God, and they still do whatever they want. How many smokers know that cigarettes kill, but they still smoke? How many people knows that if you continue to steal, one day the FBI will come to you and you ended up in jail? It happens all the time, but they continue to steal. So even though we know what we do is wrong, it's not necessarily that we're going to stop. We take risks. Hopefully we won't get caught. The only problem is that you can get away with the FBI, you can fool the police, and sometimes even you can fool the court. But if God exists and He gave us the Torah, obviously you cannot fool God. Everything is recorded. So let me explain to you how we know for sure in 10 minutes. How do we know for sure that we are the only nation that has a divine document? The only nation. No other nation has anything from God. Nothing. We are the only nation that God gave us this book, His instruction, and in the book it says, you are my children, I chose you from all the nation to be my children. And when you die, I'm sending you to a special world, your soul, if you're going to listen to me. How do we know? Let's please try to focus for 10 minutes. This lecture anyway, it's not too long. It will be over before it started. But at least get some points from what I say that later you can watch the DVD and see the rest. If I come to you today, for the first time you see me, and I come with a book in my hand, and I say, ladies and gentlemen, I have news for you. I was up there in a mountain, and the Creator of the world, He gave me His book. Back then it was on a scroll, like we have today. And He told me that I'm the prophet, everybody must listen to me, and this is the instructions how to live correctly. And it's all built on reward and punishment. You listen to me, you'll get rewarded. You don't listen to me, I'll punish you. Here is the book of God. Please read it. If you have any questions, come to me and ask me. Right away, one of you would say, excuse me, sir, it's very nice what you say. I don't believe you. You're a liar. How do I know you really got it from God? You're telling us stories. So I would say to you, open the book and read. And then you tell me what you say. So you open the book and you begin to read about who? Who are you reading about? About yourself. And it says over here, I'm the God that took you out of Egypt. All of you were slaves, you had horrible life. I took you out, I destroyed Egypt. I made Egypt blood and frogs, and every firstborn died, and all the animals died, and the grasshoppers came and ate all the trees. And then the ocean split, the Red Sea. You went through, the Egyptians that chased you, they drowned. And now every moment you see that I'm giving you bread falling from the sky like snow. And you pick it up from the floor and you eat. And you see that I give you water. And you see that I did all these things for you. Now, if one of these details are not correct, you would open the book and say, excuse me, Rabbi, you claim God gave you this book? You're a liar. Here, I can prove to you you're a liar. How? It says over here that we are all in Egypt. We've never been in Egypt. We're born in Panama. Here you see it's a lie. God said that He took us out of Egypt. We were never in Egypt. And even if you want to say that we were in Egypt, I don't remember we used to be slaves. And I don't remember that you killed every firstborn in Egypt. And I don't remember that all Egypt was blood. And I don't see any bread is falling from heaven. And then in the next page it says, all of you heard me the messenger of God speaking to God. All of you heard the voice of God. Now I want to ask you a question. You smart kids, and you learn in a very good school. Nobody here is dumb. It's a very simple question of common sense. Can I come and convince you about things that happen to you if they never happen? Can I convince you? How can I convince you that you're in Egypt if you've never been there? How can I convince each one of you that you heard me speaking to God if none of you really heard me speaking to God, because I never did? It's all a scam, it's all a lie. Can I say to you, you heard me speaking to God? Would I be so dumb to come and write a book and I give it to the people and you are inside the book and you read about yourself and some of the details are not correct? Right away you take my book, put it in the garbage, and take stones and stone me to death. Would you come to fool us? That's one point to think about. Second point to think about is, when I come to you and I'm a faker, I wrote this Torah in my living room last night, but I try to pretend that God gave it to me. So when I come with a book, will I give you an easy book to keep, or I'm going to give you a hard book to keep? If I give you a hard book, you won't like me. Wow, so many things to do. Not allow this, not allow that. How can I do this? Why do I have to do that? Too much donations. People will get angry. But why will I come and give you such a book with so many things to make you get angry at me? If I write a book, what's the reason I write a book? Because I want to be a leader. I want to be famous. I want to control. I want to make money. And I think that I'm the smartest. That's the only reason why a faker will make a fake book. Otherwise, what does he need a headache for? Why would a person wants to be a king? He wants to control. He wants to be remembered in history. He wants to make a lot of money. He wants people to kiss his hand. He wants one day when he dies that they make a big sign on his name. What else a person wants to be a king for? Besides honor, kavod, money, power, etc. Right? So now, if I want to do that, why would I make such a religion that all of you will get angry? It will be a lot harder for you. I'll give you a religion like Christianity. Everything is allowed. You come to the Father, ¿cómo está, Señor? No problem. Hijo, siéntate, sit here. Give me $50. No problem. All your sins are forgotten. Don't kill too much. Next time will be $100. Finished. That's very easy, man. Everything allowed. You can eat whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. Basically, everything is allowed. You come to the church, play piano, hallelujah, hallelujah, finished. Everybody's happy. Nobody will hate me. Why I have to tell you, one time a year you cannot have breadcrumbs on the floor. Make sure no bread in your house, no spaghetti, no beer, no whiskey. Get rid of this. Clean the house with a candle. Why do I need all this headache? What does it help me? Let's talk. That's the third point. When a person gives a fake religion, he gives laws that people understand, or he gives laws that nobody understands. He will give laws that people agree. For instance, you should not kill, everyone agree. You should not steal, everyone agree. You should have one wife and respect her, and nobody else should touch her. Everybody understand. It's logical. But tell me, please, why it's logical to sacrifice all kinds of animals? What did the God do to you? You make a sin and you take a little sheep and you kill it? It doesn't make any sense. Why do you care if one day a week I cannot sew my clothes? Or I cannot write? What does it help me? What does it help me if I tell you you're not allowed on Shabbat to write or to light fire? Does it give me anything? Why do I care what you eat? You can eat whatever you want. What do I care? If I'm a faker, why would I tell you this is allowed, this is not allowed? This is allowed, this is not allowed. What for? I get my money? Yes. I get my honor? Yes. Everybody listens to me? Yes. I'm the king? Yes. Eat whatever you want. What do I care? Right or wrong? Why do I need to tell you to pray 3 times a day? Pray once a year, 5 minutes, and finish. That you all should be happy. Dress any way you want. Do whatever you want. As long as you give me my money, my kavod. One day when I die, you put my name, finish. Now, would I write in the book that I just wrote yesterday in my room that I'm stuttering, that I cannot speak? I make myself unable to talk. Why would Moshe write in a book that is kvad pe ukvad lashon? He cannot speak. He has problem, megamgem. Why would he write such a thing about himself? Why would he write that he got punished and didn't enter Israel? Did you ever see one bad word against Muhammad in the Quran? If one person would say one word against Muhammad in a Muslim world, it's a death penalty. Even I got a warning a month ago from Arabs, you have 1 month to live. Why? Because they found in the internet that I show mistake in the Quran. And I didn't make fun of them. I just show mistakes in the Quran. It's already make them such a damage. A lot of Muslims leave Islam. So they came to their attention. So they send me a message. You have 1 month to live. Now exactly is a month. So see, maybe it's the last speech here in Panama. Who knows? But the idea, you get the point here? The Torah, 3,300 years. Shh. Maybe I move to Panama, I hide here. The Torah, 3,300 years, not one person was able to find one mistake in the Torah. Listen to me what I said. When Moshe gave the Torah to the Jewish nation, he said to them, I'm going to take you to the Holy Land, the land of Canaan. There are 7 major armies over there. Prizi, Girgashi, Yevusi, Knaani, Chivi, all of them, they're there. I'm going to kick them out of Israel, and I'm going to give you the land. It's my land. What human being would write such a promise? How can you promise a small nation that just coming to enter Israel with no army, that you're going to throw them out and give them the land? And I already said in my book that you're going to build Bet HaMikdash in Jerusalem, in a place I'll show you. Many, many things the Torah promised to the future. The Torah have codes inside, equal mathematical codes hidden inside the text about events that are happening in our time. The writer of the Torah, if he was a human being, how did he know what happens in our time 3,000 years ago? There's no way to know. You know, it doesn't matter how smart you are, you don't know the future. I'm going to give you 2 examples, and then maybe I'll give you some time for questions. I'm going to give you 2 examples how you know the Torah can never be written by a human being. Only the creator of the world was able to write it. One example, the Torah said to the Jews, this is what you're allowed to eat from the water. Everything that have fins and scales, it's kosher. If it doesn't have fins and scales, snapir vekaskasim, if it doesn't have it, it's not kosher. The oral Torah, Torah shebe'al peh, that was given together to Moshe Rabbeinu in Har Sinai, the oral Torah says, everything that have scales, I created in it fins also. You will never find something in the water that have scales, but doesn't have fins. You will never find. So even though you need to see fins and scales to know if it's kosher, if somebody brings you half a fish, let's say a person is in a jail, a Jew, and he says, I cannot eat your food, it's not kosher. So they say to him, should we get you fish and you cook it for yourself? He said, yes. So they went to the fish market, they brought him half a fish. He sees the head, but he doesn't see the fins, because it's half. He sees scales, he scratches it, the scales falling off. Where are the fins? He doesn't see fins. It's okay, don't worry about it. It's kosher. Why? The oral Torah promise, everything that has scales must have fins. If one Jew or one Goy would ever find anything in the ocean that have scales but did not have fins, Judaism is finished. No more Yom Kippur, no more Tefillin, no more Gemara, no more Torah, no more nothing. Why? It's the first mistake in the Torah after 3,300 years. Now you have to remember, when the Torah was written, half of the fish that lives today in the world did not even exist, because they always get mixed together and create new species. So when the Torah promised to the Jews, everything that has scales will always have fins, the Torah talked about until the end of time. And the Torah says, you will never find something with scales that didn't have fins. And if you will find, that means the book is not from God, because God knows the future. And God controls nature. And God knows what exists and what does not exist. Now all of you have to agree with me on one thing. How much water we have in the world today, do you know? 72% of the world is water. 72%, almost the entire world is water. How many things moving in the water? Billions, trillions. There's no way to count. Snakes, turtles, fish, all kinds of animals inside the water that lives all the time inside the water. The Torah took a huge risk. If anyone will ever find something that has scales but does not have fins, that's going to be the first mistake in the Torah Shebe'al Peh, oral Torah. You won't be able after that to trust the book. Maybe Tefillin is the second mistake. Maybe Kriyat Shema is the second mistake. Maybe everything else in the book is a mistake. If the book will have one-time mistake, you will never know about the rest if it's really reliable or not. Maybe it's another mistake. How can I live according to this book when the book already showed me that there is mistakes inside? Now I want to tell you one thing in case you didn't know. What is the purpose of life? Why God put us here? To be good students? To eat good? To make a lot of money? To play sport? To wear nice clothes? What exactly is the life for? The Torah is teaching us, I took your soul and I put it inside the body. And I put you in this world. This world is very short. 70, 80 years and it's over. In these 70, 80 years, the way you're going to behave, after you die, you stand in front of me and you're going to have a trial. Mishpat, just like in court. I will show you all your life. Everything you did good, everything you did bad. And in the end, I decide if to give you the reward or to give you chas v'shalom punishment. Depends on what you did. You murder, you'll be punished. You raped, you'll be punished. You stole, you'll be punished. You did good things, you'll be rewarded. You keep Shabbat, I'll give you a big reward for that. You ate kosher, I'll give you reward. You dress modest, I'll give you reward. You watch your mouth, you didn't speak bad about people, I'll give you reward. Everything that you did according to my book, I will pay you endless reward. And if not, you're going to have to pay the price. The Torah, it's not a religion. Religion means worshipping a God. We don't worship any God. The Torah said to the Jews, everything I told you to do, it's not for me, for you. You do, I'm going to pay you for that. You're not doing for free. You're not doing for free. You're not doing it for me. I'm perfect with or without you. I was perfect before I created you. I'll be perfect after you'll be gone. But one thing you know, if you want to make it to the place where I promised to the righteous Jews, you're going to have to work for it. It's not going to come for free. You have to earn it. Do you know why most of the Jews in the world are not religious? What do you think is the reason? Do you know that until, pay attention carefully, do you know that until 220 years ago, almost all the Jews in the world were religious? It was almost impossible to find non-religious Jews. In the Arab countries, until 100 years ago, everyone was religious. In Yemen, the Yemenite Jews, the Temanim, until today, there was never one Jew in Yemen that was not Shomer Shabbat, ever in history, 2,500 years. Even today, there are few Jews left in Yemen, 100% religious. 100 years ago, religious. 500 years ago, religious. 1,000 years ago, everyone was religious. Some of you, your parents and grandparents came from Syria. In Syria, until 50 years ago, everyone was religious, always. For more than 1,000 years, everyone was religious. In Spain, everyone was religious until they ran away from there. How all of a sudden 70-80% of the world became not religious? The answer is when the world became modern and Jews started to learn other things and they left the Torah, slowly they became like the rest of the world, like the Goyim. There is not one secular Jew in the world that read the Torah once in his life and understand the words. Not even one. I speak for 21 years. Sometimes professor comes to argue with me. Professor for evolution, judges, lawyers, doctors. I had a debate with the controller of New York State, the most powerful person in the world. Billions and billions of dollars every week in his signature. All the FBI, the New York State, the mayor of New York, all the union, the fire department, 20 million people in New York, all the roads. Very powerful person, a Jew. Argue with me, it's on my website, the argument. Professor for history, friend of Kennedy, the president that got killed in the same class. Argue with me, and then I continued to argue with him for 3 hours. By the end of the debate, he got up. He said to me, I never believe religion can be proven scientifically. I always thought it's a matter of faith. You want to believe it, fine. You don't want to believe, it's up to you. I never knew that the Torah can be proven that it's the word of God. So I said to him, what are you going to do about it? He said to me, I'm already a lost case. I'm 68 years old. When will I start? I should have met you 40 years ago, he said. Then if I knew when I was young, I could change my life. Now how am I going to change my life? Before I finish, I want everyone to remember one thing. You can do whatever you want because God gave you free choice. You choose what to do. You choose to do good, you do good. You choose to do bad, you can do bad. Nobody interfere with what you do. But in the end, what you do today will affect you later on. No one can run away from Hashem, not for good, not for bad. When you deserve something, you get it. When you don't deserve, you won't get it. We can change our future. Life is not only to make money and to be educated and to be successful. That's a small part of life. Many stupid people, they made a lot of money. I met some of them in New York. Many very smart people, they hardly make a living. King Shlomo HaMelech said, Lo lachachamim lechem. If you have a lot of money, that doesn't mean you're smart. If you're poor, it doesn't mean you're stupid. Some of the biggest rabbis in the history that knew all the Torah by heart, they barely had a piece of bread to eat. Some of the most wicked, stupid people in the world, they have billions. Look at Saddam Hussein, Bin Laden, all these murderers. They have billions of dollars. Wealth, it's not a sign you're a tzaddik. It's not a sign you're smart. Poverty, it's not a sign you're stupid. It's not a sign that you're wicked. This is how Hashem designed your life. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. But that will be over before you realize it. The only thing that you will care about is what's going to be when we leave the world. That's why I brought you a DVD here. It's called Life After Death. But the rabbis say we should call it Life After Life, and he's right. Because we live here, and eventually we would live again without the body. Once the soul comes out of the body, the real life begins. The question is, where are we going to go? Are we going to a good place or chas v'shalom not? And that's only will be decided based on how we live here. You're going to eat the right thing, it's very good. You're going to dress properly, very good. You will speak properly, very good. You keep my Sabbath, very good. You put tefillin, very good. Oh, you know, what a surprise. Rabbi Wallenstein, one of the most famous speakers in America and in the world, and you're lucky. Baruch Hashem, they bring you very famous speakers here to speak. Very nice. But his speech will be more interesting than mine, so you have what to look for. But I just want to finish by giving you 1 or 2 minutes. 1 or 2 minutes to ask questions. If you have any questions about what I spoke about or what I didn't speak about, please take advantage on the opportunity. Yes.
The Torah says that there is 5,700 something years. But if we measure the time...
I understand the question. He asked, the Torah said that the world is 5,775 years. But if we measure according to science, then we see that the world is millions or billions of years old. The answer to your question is, if you go into my website, divineinformation.com, it's on the CDs. I put over there 2 films by an American scientist named Robert Gentry. Robert Gentry. Goy, not a Jew. After you watch his film, you will never ever dare to ask this question again. Because he's an American scientist and he will show you how the scientists keep fooling the world. And based on his conclusion, the world is only a few thousand years old. And it's not from me. I can prove it to you also, but it will take 4 hours. Watch his film 1 hour and you will never believe how they're fooling us and we keep buying their nonsense. More questions. Remember, Robert Gentry, the name of his films is Fingerprint of the Creation, The Young Age of Earth. 2 films he made, a treasure. After you watch it, no more doubt. More questions?
This is your opportunity, Radim. If you have a question, life after life, Torah is...
No? Too early for you? You're tired from the slichot? What's going on? Huh? Tov, we will finish. Over there, as I told you, there is a film, Life After Life, Life After Death. It will prove to you what happened to us when we died. People that died and came back to life, they describe what happened in a hospital while they were completely dead. And then I showed that everything was already written inside the Torah. I would like to thank the Rabbi for inviting me here to speak today. Thank you very much. Thank you for sitting so nicely. Yeah, one more. There's one more question here. 1 second. Shh. Okay. Shh. Yeah.
You said that fish have to have scales and
fins.
And things. Can a fish have fins without scales?
Yes, shark, dolphin. We have a lot of fish that are smooth body. That's no problem. The Torah says you have plenty of those and every human being knows that they exist. But the Torah says that you never find anything that has scales that doesn't have fins. Anything else? Anything? Take advantage. It's an opportunity. Every dilemma you have, every doubt. איפה הוא עכשיו צריך לעלות לרב וולרסטיין? איפה הוא נעלם? איפה הוא הלך?
איפה הרב השם?
רבי וולרסטיין.
מה השם שלו?
הנה הוא שם. בכבוד רבי. Please welcome Rabbi Zechariah Wallenstein from New York. You have the privilege.
חזק וברוך. אני אתחיל באינטרנט.
יפה מאוד. תודה רבה. הנה, דיסקים.
למה אתה לא שותף?
אני עכשיו אקח איתי, דווקא במלון אין לי מים שם. זה טוב.